Welcome to Biochemistry DSP channel. Today's discussion will be about de novo synthesis of fatty acids. This de novo synthesis of fatty acid or lipogenesis will occur in the cytosol, including liver, kidney, brain, lung, mammary gland, and adipose tissue. So, this system occurs in many tissues including liver, kidney, brain, lung, mammary gland, and adipose tissue. The cofactors which are involved in the biosynthesis of fatty acid includes NADPH, ATP, Mn2+, biotin, and bicarbonate ion. So this bicarbonate will be acting as a source for CO2. The initial precursor for this biosynthesis is acetyl-CoA and the end product will be free palmitate. Fatty acid synthesis involves two stages. The first stage is conversion of acetyl-CoA to malonyl-CoA with the help of the enzyme acetyl-CoA carboxylase. And the second reactions and the second stage is the reactions which occurs in the fatty acid synthase complex. So both the enzymes acetyl-CoA carboxylase as well as this fatty acid synthase enzyme, both enzymes are multi-enzyme complex. They have different subunits. So before this biosynthesis of fatty acids, the formed acetyl-CoA has to be transported to cytosol. Okay, acetyl-CoA is formed in the mitochondrial matrix through lipolysis. That is fatty acid breakdown. Okay, fatty acid catabolism will occur in the mitochondria, beta oxidation. So through beta oxidation, so much of acetyl-CoA is formed. So this acetyl-CoA is available in the mitochondrial matrix, whereas biosynthesis of fatty acid takes place in the cytosolic part. So the formed acetyl-CoA has to be transported to cytosol through citrate malate cycle. So this acetyl-CoA will condense with oxaloacetate to form citrate in the presence of the enzyme citrate synthase in the mitochondrial matrix. Citrate can be translocated to cytosol where it will be cleaved into two products oxaloacetate and acetyl-CoA. So we got back the acetyl-CoA in cytosol to continue with lipogenesis. After that, citrate will be converted into after the conversion of acetyl-CoA and oxaloacetate, it will continue with TCA cycle to form malate, and malate can enter again into the mitochondrial matrix to condense to give back the oxaloacetate and citrate. So this is called citrate malate cycle. Okay, so with the help of these two enzymes, citrate synthase and citrate lyase, the formed acetyl CoA in mitochondria can be exported to cytosol to continue with lipogenesis. The first stage in fatty acid biosynthesis is carboxylation of acetyl CoA into malonyl CoA with the help of the enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase. This acetyl CoA carboxylase is a multi-enzyme complex which contains biotin carboxylase, trans carboxylase, and a carrier protein, biotin carboxyl carrier protein, as well as a regulatory allosteric site. So it's a multi-enzyme complex. So all these subunits are embedded in it. So this acetyl-CoA carboxylase is embedded with biotin carboxylase, trans carboxylase, biotin carboxyl carrier protein, and a regulatory allosteric site. So two main reactions occurs to convert this acetyl CoA into malonyl CoA. This biotin first before the acetyl CoA is carboxylated, the first this biotin will act as a carrier for this CO2. So with the help of this enzyme biotin carboxylase, which is also one of the constituent of this enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase. So with the help of biotin carboxylase, biotin will be carboxylated first to be converted into carboxybiotin. Then from this carboxybiotin, the CO2 group will be donated to acetyl CoA with the help of the enzyme called trans carboxylase. Okay, so that acetyl CoA will be converted into malonyl CoA. When you compare the formula with formula for acetyl CoA and malonyl CoA, only they differ only with the presence of this CO2 group. Okay, so when acetyl CoA is combined with a CO2 group, COO, it becomes malonyl CoA. So this is the first step in fatty acid biosynthesis, conversion of this acetyl CoA into malonyl CoA through carboxylation. Okay, with the help of the enzyme called acetyl CoA carboxylase, this reaction is catalyzed by multi-enzyme complex. This acetyl CoA carboxylase has got biotin carboxylase as well as trans carboxylase activity. So with the help of this biotin carboxylase, it will carboxylate biotin first, then trans carboxylase will transfer this CO2 group to acetyl CoA from biotin. So that acetyl CoA will be converted into malonyl CoA. The second stage is the reactions which occurs through fatty acid synthase complex. This fatty acid synthase complex is also a multi-enzyme complex. This fatty acid synthase has got 7 enzymes in it. Okay, it is embedded with 7 enzymes and one acyl carrier protein ACP. So this fatty acid synthase complex is a monomer. Okay, it's a dimer consisting of two monomers. When you see this first monomer, this is the, first monomer, this is the second monomer. These two monomers are connected to form a dimer in a head to tail fashion. Okay, so they are connected in such a way that cysteine SH will be closer to pan SH of the other monomer, and in the next side you can find pan SH closer to cysteine SH. So each monomer has got three domains in it. Domain 1 with three enzymes, domain 2 consists of three enzymes and one acyl carrier protein, and domain 3 with one last final enzyme, thioesterase. So these domains are also embedded with each monomer. So the first domain has got three enzyme in it. One is acetyl transacylase, okay, acetyl transacylase, malonyl transacylase, and ketoacyl synthase. This ketoacyl synthase has got a cysteine SH group in it, okay. Ketoacyl synthase has got cysteine SH group. It's a condensing enzyme, okay. This cysteine SH is called as cysteanyl SH. Then in the second domain, it has got three enzymes: dehydratase, enoyl reductase, ketoacyl reductase. So all the reductase reactions and dehydratase reactions are carried out by the enzyme which are present in the domain 2. It also has got a acyl carrier protein which is having a functional group pan SH, pantothenic acid. So it can be shortly represented as pan SH, which is present closer to this acyl carrier protein. The final domain has got thioesterase in it to cleave this formed product palmitic acid with this fatty acid synthase complex. So here this pan SH and cysteine SH will form two arms of this enzyme. Okay, this they will form the span SH and cysteine SH can be considered as two arms of this enzyme complex. Cysteine SH is the acceptor for acetyl group. Okay, so from acetyl CoA it will accept it acetyl group. Okay, with the help of this enzyme acetyl transacylase, whereas the span SH is always it should be charged with malonyl group. Okay, so it will get the malonyl group from malonyl CoA. So the first reaction we saw conversion of acetyl CoA into malonyl CoA. From this acetyl CoA, acetyl group will be charged with to this cysteine SH group. Malonyl CoA will be charged with this pan SH group. So this at a time you can frame two molecules of palmitic acid can be formed by using this. This is the subunit division of this monomer and this is the functional division. So using this two functional division, two molecules of palmitic acids can be synthesized at a time because we have got two arms of cysteine SH and pan SH. So each time cysteine SH will be charged with acetyl CoA and pan SH should be charged with malonyl CoA. Okay, this is about the fatty acid synthase multi-enzyme complex. It has got 7 enzymes in it and with one acyl carrier protein which has got pantothenic acid pan SH group, and ketoacyl synthase has got the cysteine SH group. Now we'll see the reactions involved in this fatty acid synthesis pathway. Okay. So in this fatty acid synthesis, the first step is carboxylation of acetyl CoA into malonyl CoA. This occurs with the help of the enzyme called acetyl CoA carboxylase. Now, this is the first monomer with cysteine SH and pan SH, which is connected with second monomer of pan SH and cysteine SH. They are connected in a head to tail fashion. Okay, this is called fatty acid synthase multi-enzyme complex. When these two monomers are connected together, it will be in the active form, functionally active form. So the first step in this fatty acid synthase reaction is transfer of the acetyl group. Okay, acetyl group should be charged to this cysteine SH moiety with the help of an enzyme called acetyl transacylase. So this acetyl transacylase will uh, will transfer this acetyl group to this cysteine SH arm. So that cysteine SH will be converted into cysteine S C double bond O CH3. The acetyl group is attached to this cysteine SH group of the fatty acid synthase enzyme, and with the help of malonyl transacylase. Okay, malonyl group coenzyme A will be released out. Malonyl group alone gone attached with the pan SH group. Okay, now to form the compound called acyl malonyl enzyme, it's also called acetyl. Since acetyl is there, acetyl malonyl enzyme, or it can be generally it can be called as acyl malonyl enzyme, because we are going to synthesize the acyl compound, fatty acid we are going to synthesize. So hence the name of this complex is acyl malonyl ACP, enzyme with that ACP. Okay, pan SH is linked with ACP. So it can be also called as acyl malonyl ACP or acyl malonyl enzyme. Now the ketoacyl, 3-ketoacyl synthase. This enzyme is called condensing enzyme. After losing that CO2, after losing CO2, decarboxylation reaction also will occur to convert this acyl malonyl enzyme. In this acyl malonyl enzyme, to this malonyl group, you have got one CO2 group. That CO2 will be released out, so that this ketoacyl synthase can condense this, can unite this acetyl CoA with this malonyl group. Okay, so it forms 3-ketoacyl enzyme. So C double bond O CH2, again this group has to be attached here. C double bond O CH2, C double bond O CH3, the acetyl group. So from this malonyl, a CO2 is released and acetyl group is condensed with the help of the enzyme called 3-ketoacyl synthase to form a compound 3-ketoacyl ACP or 3-ketoacyl enzyme. Okay, so 3-ketoacyl enzyme is formed now. Then it will undergo reduction. Okay, so these three enzymes are present in the first domain: acetyl transacylase, malonyl transacylase, and 3-ketoacyl synthase. Okay, 3-ketoacyl synthase. These three are present in the domain 1 of fatty acid synthase complex. Now the domain 2 enzymes reactions occurs. Okay, with the help of the enzyme 3-ketoacyl reductase. NADPH plus H plus will be converted into NADP plus. This NADPH is given out by from is been taken from HMP pathway. Okay, it has been donor for this NADPH is from HMP shunt pathway. We can get this NADPH. This key 3-ketoacyl reductase will convert this 3-ketoacyl enzyme into 3-hydroxyacyl enzyme. See, this is the first carbon, COOH group. Now this is the first carbon of fatty acid. This is second carbon, this is third carbon, and this is the omega carbon or final carbon. Now the third position, okay, the third position is hydroxylated here, hence the name 3-hydroxyacyl enzyme. Now a removal of water molecule. Okay, from this second and third carbon, if you check the second and third carbon, one water molecule is removed, so that it becomes CH double bond CH group. Okay, so hence the name become 2,3 unsaturated acyl enzyme. So from 3-hydroxyacyl enzyme dehydration, okay, dehydration takes place. With the help of the enzyme 3-hydroxyacyl dehydratase, removal of water molecule takes place to form the product as 2,3 enoyl enzyme, which is called enoyl group. So it can be called as delta 2 enoyl enzyme or 2,3 unsaturated acyl enzyme. Now once again this will undergo reduction in the presence of the enzyme enoyl reductase. Okay, so enoyl reductase, so that this unsaturated acyl enzyme can be converted into an saturated acyl enzyme. Now this last step, now you can find there is no double bond, single bond, so it becomes saturated acyl enzyme. Okay, in the presence of the enzyme enoyl reductase, unsaturated acyl enzyme will be converted into an saturated acyl enzyme. Again it requires NADPH. The source for this supply is HMP pathway. Okay, now we got the 4 carbon acyl enzyme. It is butyl ACP. Okay, so butyl ACP has been formed, 4 carbon acyl butyl ACP. Now this cycle will continue by taking a fresh molecule of malonyl CoA. Okay, so now malonyl CoA will take up the this formed acyl CoA, no, this formed acyl CoA will be donated to this cysteine SH. Okay, so this after the formation of butyric acid is formed, this formed uh, acyl group, no, this formed fatty acid will be donated to this free cysteine moiety. So it will be given, it will be transferred to cysteine SH group, and it will pan SH will be free to accommodate another molecule of malonyl CoA. Okay, so once fatty acid is formed, it will be given to this cysteine SH, and this cysteine SH will occupy this, and pan SH will be free now to take up a fresh malonyl CoA. Okay, this cycle will continue from step 1B. So from step uh, 1B, the cycle will continue. Okay, continue 6 more times. Okay, to form the final product palmitic acid. After once the formation of palmitic, the 16 carbon palmitoyl CoA will be formed. Okay, so the same condensing reaction will take place, so that butyric acid, the 4 carbon will condense with one more molecule of malonyl CoA, so that after CO2 release it will become into a 6 carbon compound. So 6 carbon compound, this will continue with further cycle until it forms 16 carbon palmitic acid. So once chain has been lengthened till 16, termination step occurs. The termination enzyme is the thioesterase or thiolase enzyme, which will cleave this acyl, formed acyl, that is the palmitic acid. Palmitic acid will be cleaved, and it will release the fatty acid synthase multi-enzyme complex. Okay, since two molecules of palmitic acid can be synthesized, the source for this acetyl CoA is actually through the beta oxidation we get more amount of acetyl CoA that will act as the source for NADPH is that HMP pathway. Okay, hexose monophosphate pathway will be act as a source for NADPH. So this is the reaction. Okay, so once again I will explain this reaction. So this is fatty acid synthase complex, acetyl CoA conversion into malonyl CoA. So first time acetyl CoA will be converted into malonyl CoA, and once through in one cycle only acetyl CoA will be transferred with the help of the enzyme acetyl transacylase. It will be charged with the cysteine SH group of one monomer, and the second monomer which has got the pan SH group will be charged with malonyl CoA with the help of the malonyl transacylase. Okay, to form the product acyl malonyl enzyme. Then with the help of condensing enzyme 3-ketoacyl synthase, CO2 will be released. After releasing that CO2, acetyl group will be attached to this component to form 3-ketoacyl enzyme, and it will undergo reduction in the presence of the enzyme 3-ketoacyl reductase. NADPH will be involved to convert this 3-ketoacyl enzyme into 3-hydroxyacyl enzyme. Third position is hydroxylated. Now you have to remove water molecule from second and third carbon. A water molecule is removed in the presence of the dehydratase enzyme to form a product 2,3 unsaturated acyl enzyme or delta 2 enoyl enzyme. Then from this delta 2 enol enzyme will undergo reduction in the presence of the enzyme enol reductase. Once again, it will utilize NADPH, and it will be converted into a saturated acyl enzyme. This cycle will continue until it forms a 16 carbon fatty acid called palmitic acid. So first time alone acetyl CoA will be charged with 16SH, and after that in other cycles only it will be the two carbon atom will enter only in the form of malonyl CoA. Okay, after the formation of this butyl acyl enzyme, the first saturated acyl enzyme butyric acid, it will be transferred to this free 16SH. Pan SH will be free to occupy. uh, Always pan should be charged with malonyl CoA. So pan SH group is free now. It will it will be occupied with malonyl group in the presence of the enzyme malonyl transacylase. It will continue until palmitic acid. So the human fatty acid synthase complex can continue the fatty acid until it forms palmitic acid. After that, it will stop. So the cleavage enzyme or termination enzyme is called thioesterase, which will cleave the formed fatty acid from this fatty acid synthase complex. So these are the steps involved in it. And overall reaction, you can see first time one molecule of acetyl CoA is condensing with, for 7 cycles, one molecule of acetyl CoA is condensing with 7 molecules of malonyl CoA. It will utilize 14 NADPH because two reductase steps are involved. 14 NADPH to be converted into palmitic acid plus 7 CO2 is released, and 14 NADP plus 8 CoA plus 6 molecules of water. Then but we know that malonyl CoA is formed only from acetyl CoA. Okay, so for each cycle 7 times the cycle continues. For 7 times malonyl CoA is formed from only from acetyl CoA. So 7 acetyl CoA are involved to be converted into 7 malonyl CoA. So overall the reaction will become like this. Totally 8 acetyl CoA will be involved. Out of this 8 acetyl CoA, we get one molecule of palmitic acid. Okay, so this is the overall reaction. Regulation of this fatty acid synthesis. This fatty acid synthesis is mainly regulated through either through allosteric control, hormonal control, and dietary control. Okay, so the key enzyme for this fatty acid synthesis is acetyl CoA carboxylase. So this acetyl CoA carboxylase is the main rate limiting enzyme which controls the lipogenesis process. It can be controlled either through allosteric regulation or hormonal or through dietetic mode. Allosteric regulation. So in this allosteric regulation or feedback regulation, actually citrate will be acting as a allosteric activator for this enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase. Okay, then a palmitic acid or palmitoyl CoA. Okay, this palmitoyl CoA will be acting as an inhibitor. So allosterically, this acetyl CoA carboxylase is regulated through citrate and palmitoyl CoA. Citrate will be acting as an activator, whereas palmitoyl CoA will act as an allosteric inhibitor. Hormonal control. So this acetyl CoA carboxylase, how it is regulated means through the hormones insulin, glucagon, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. So here, acetyl CoA carboxylase exists in two forms. The active form is the dephosphorylated form is the active form of the enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase, whereas the inactive form is phosphorylated form. So once the acetyl CoA carboxylase enzyme is phosphorylated form means it will remain in the inactive form. So lipogenesis will stop. Once if it is dephosphorylated with the help of this enzyme protein phosphatase means it will become active and it will continue with lipogenesis. So insulin, in the presence of insulin only, this protein phosphatase enzyme will be in the active state. So in the presence of insulin, acetyl CoA carboxylase will be in the active form. So lipogenesis will be stimulated by insulin. Whereas in the presence of glucagon and epinephrine and norepinephrine, the CAMP dependent protein kinase enzyme will be activated. So this protein dependent kinase will go and phosphorylate this enzyme, target enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase. So once it is phosphorylated means it becomes inactive. So lipogenesis will be stopped. Okay. So this is how uh, hormones like insulin, glucagon, epinephrine will activate and deactivate the lipogenesis process. And dietary control. So through dietary control means the mode of food we are taking. Okay, when the when we are taking high carbohydrate diet means it will activate acetyl CoA carboxylase. So the nutritional state also will regulate lipogenesis. uh, actually, when we are in the well-fed state, okay, when we are in the well-fed state, more amount of carbohydrate food is taken means it will enhance lipogenesis. Whereas when we take high-fat diet or doing insulin deficiency, in the case of diabetes mellitus, it will deactivate the enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase, and lipogenesis is increased when sucrose is fed instead of glucose, because fructose bypasses the phosphofructokinase control point in glycolysis and helps triggers lipogenic pathway. So in that way, dietary nutritional status also will help to regulate the fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, so that is lipogenesis. So lipogenesis can be regulated through allosteric control, hormonal control, and dietary control. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe and support the channel Biochemistry DSV.